Hey guys, what is going on? It is me, BakuriBox12 here, and welcome back to another Realm of the Mad God video. Apparently, DECA is the company that never sleeps because we've got another new dungeon to try out on the testing server, and it's one that I wasn't expecting, called the Secluded Thicket, aka the Epic Forbidden Jungle, something I've been wanting for a while. However, unlike the other epic dungeons, it isn't just a harder version of the jungle. They've decided to convert it into a Court of Oryx boss rush. Rather than fighting your way through a series of rooms that lead up to the boss room, there are 3 separate battles all back to back, inspired by Forbidden Jungle enemies. And while it's cool to see them revisit the boss rush concept from the Lair of Draconis, it does seem a little soon to be adding another Court of Oryx dungeon after we just got the Nidarian Reef only a couple weeks ago. I think it would have been more fitting to keep in line with the other epic dungeons and have it drop from a new lucky god. I guess we'll just have to see when it's released. In any case, compared to the other court dungeons, these fights are a good deal more difficult than what we may have been expecting. Sure, things will always be easier with a divine pet on a tanky class, but these are some of the most elaborate bullet hell boss patterns we've seen, without it being too endgame like the Lost Halls, and the difficulty still scales fairly well across the 3 battles. Some may argue that 2 is harder than 3 and vice versa. I heard someone say that 3 was the easiest, but I think difficulty can always be debated depending on your class and pet rarity. Plus, certain players are better at dodging certain attacks. The first boss is a revamped Basilisk enemy from the original jungle. It periodically gives chase until regressing back to the middle to summon invulnerable minions and then go into a final rage phase at the end of it. Considering my game froze at multiple random intervals and I still didn't die, I would say that this fight is more lenient than it may appear, but still not something to be taken too lightly. The second boss, Dorado, is a golden artifact that stays in the middle the entire time. But despite its mobile limitations, I found this one to be the most varied encounter, with a completely original aesthetic, various minions, a partial screen nuke, and a skull-like projectile similar to Daichi. Unfortunately, this is as far as I got on my own since my laptop was less than capable, so a big thanks to Yinyarn for sending me his footage to use. The third boss is Xolotl the Lightning God, who, for some reason, I think looks like a penguin. It's similar to the first boss, but with a lot more going on, especially the ludicrous final phase. There are lightning attacks everywhere, including giant bolts with a preceding lock-on cursor that petrify you with high damage when hit. Something to note, though, is that all 3 bosses have a trend of summoning minions around the room that have to be killed for the boss to be attacked. And now that I mention it, a lot of DECA's recent bosses have been doing this. What's really neat, though, is that to deal the finishing blow, you actually have to use his lightning against him by luring the cursor onto him. And then you watch him fall. Really satisfying stuff. And then he screams Gazort before he dies, which is both an Ultraman villain and a very strange Urban Dictionary term, so I'm gonna assume that it's something else. As of now, the bosses don't drop any loot, so I've got nothing to say there. Although maybe we could finally get an ST Ninja set, just saying. Overall, this was definitely a pleasant surprise that I'm very much looking forward to. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to check out the next episode whenever I post it, which will probably be soon. Alright. See ya.